Have you ever looked at your bank account, checked your investments, maybe glanced at your home value and thought, I've been working for years. Why doesn't it feel like I'm actually getting ahead? Because here's the thing. Most people believe life changes when they earn more money. It doesn't. Life changes when your net worth reaches certain levels. Your salary pays today's bills. Your net worth determines tomorrow's freedom. And that's why someone earning $60,000 a year can quietly become financially independent, while someone making $250,000 still lives paycheck to paycheck. Look, nobody really talks about this. Everyone obsesses over income. Almost nobody talks about the invisible milestones that completely change how you think about money, because every major net worth level rewires your brain. The decisions you make change. Your confidence changes. The opportunities available to you change. Even your stress changes. Today, we're walking through 6 different net worth levels. What changes? What doesn't? The mistakes people make at each stage. And why the jump between levels is usually psychological, not mathematical. Trust me, the final level isn't what most people imagine. My name is Leonard, and I spend way too much time thinking about what happens when your net worth hits 6 different levels. If you're someone who works hard every month but still feels like you're not making real financial progress, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Now, here's something that surprised me. According to the Federal Reserve's survey of consumer finances, the median net worth for American households is dramatically lower than most people assume. While wealth remains heavily concentrated among higher net worth households, that means millions of people are chasing income while ignoring the one number that actually predicts long-term financial security. Net worth. Assets minus liabilities. That's it. Simple formula. Life-changing consequences. And today, we're going to break down exactly what happens as that number grows. Level 1. $0 to $10,000. This is survival mode. Let's be honest. This is where most financial advice completely falls apart. People tell you to max out retirement accounts, invest aggressively, buy rental properties, start multiple income streams. Meanwhile, you're wondering if your car is going to make it through another month. Here's what most people don't realize. Your first $10,000 isn't about becoming rich, it's about buying breathing room. Let's do the math. Imagine someone earns $4,000 each month after taxes. Their monthly expenses total $3,700. They're technically saving, but only $300 every month. Now imagine the washing machine breaks. That's $900. Suddenly, 3 months of progress disappears overnight. That's emotionally exhausting. Psychologists call this scarcity mindset. Research from Princeton economists found that financial scarcity consumes mental bandwidth, making long-term decisions significantly harder because your brain constantly focuses on immediate problems. That explains why people under financial stress often make decisions they later regret. They're not lazy, their brain is overloaded, so your mission at this stage isn't investing. It's stability. Build a small emergency fund, pay every bill on time, create positive financial habits, because habits formed with $1,000 usually stay with you when you have $1 million. Level 2, $10,000 to $100,000. Now things start getting interesting. You finally have momentum. Money isn't constantly disappearing. It's beginning to work with you instead of against you. But this is also one of the most dangerous stages. Why? Lifestyle inflation. You receive a raise. You upgrade the apartment, buy the nicer car, take more expensive vacations. Suddenly, your higher income creates zero additional wealth. Look, let's compare 2 people. Sarah saves $1,200 every month. James spends every raise. 5 years later, Sarah has roughly $90,000 invested. James owns nicer things, but Sarah owns more freedom. See the difference? Net worth quietly compounds, while appearances don't. This is where compound interest starts becoming visible. Suppose you invest $100,000, earning an average annual return of 8%. That's roughly $8,000 during the first year. You didn't physically work those extra hours. Your money did. That's a strange realization. For the first time, your assets become employees. Now, you might be thinking, $8,000 isn't life-changing. You're right, but this is where it gets really interesting. Those earnings themselves begin generating returns, then those returns generate even more returns. It's like rolling a snowball downhill. The beginning feels painfully slow. Eventually, gravity takes over. Level 3. $100,000 to $500,000. Financially, this is where confidence begins replacing fear. Notice I didn't say certainty, confidence. There's a difference. At this stage, you stop asking, "Can I survive?" You start asking, "How do I optimize?" Your investment portfolio becomes meaningful. Retirement accounts actually matter. Your home equity grows. Maybe you've started a business. Maybe you're investing consistently. Here's what most people don't realize. The biggest challenge here isn't earning more. It's staying patient. Because progress starts looking boring. You're contributing every month. Markets fluctuate. Some years your portfolio drops. Other years it jumps dramatically. The temptation is to constantly interfere. Studies from Dalbar have repeatedly shown that average investors often earn lower returns than the market itself because they buy after excitement and sell during fear. The market wasn't the problem. Human psychology was. Think about planting a tree. You don't dig it up every week to check if it's growing. Yet investors constantly check portfolios expecting daily miracles. Patience becomes profitable. Level 4. $500,000 to $1 million. Crossing $500,000 feels different. Not because you're wealthy, because your investments begin making more money than your monthly savings. Let's do some quick math. Imagine your portfolio reaches $600,000. An 8% annual return equals approximately $48,000. That's about $4,000 every month. Notice something? Your investments may now be producing more than many people save in an entire year. This changes everything psychologically, because effort becomes less connected to results. You might work exactly the same number of hours, yet your wealth grows significantly. That's confusing at first. Many people actually feel guilty. Others become overconfident. Both reactions can become expensive. Look, money doesn't suddenly make you smarter. It simply amplifies existing habits. Disciplined investors become more disciplined. Careless spenders simply make bigger mistakes. This level also introduces a strange problem. Comparison. Suddenly you're surrounded by people with even more money. Instead of appreciating progress, you feel behind again. It's like climbing a mountain only to discover another one waiting. Comparison steals satisfaction faster than almost anything else. Level 5. $1 million to $5 million. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Everyone dreams about becoming a millionaire. But becoming a millionaire doesn't automatically make life luxurious. Here's why. Suppose someone has a $1 million net worth. Half of it sits inside retirement accounts. Another large portion is tied up in home equity. That doesn't mean they have $1 million available to spend. Far from it. They're wealthy on paper. Liquidity still matters. Here's what changes instead. Your decisions become increasingly focused on protecting wealth rather than creating it. Taxes matter more. Estate planning matters. Insurance matters. Diversification matters. Risk management becomes just as important as returns. This is where wealthy people begin thinking differently. Average earners ask, "How much can I make?" Wealthy people ask, "How much can I keep?" There's an enormous difference. Imagine carrying water up a hill using a bucket full of holes. Making more money helps. Fixing the holes helps even more. Level 6. Beyond $5 million. This is the level everyone imagines. Freedom, choices, time. But here's what most people don't realize. Money eventually stops solving emotional problems. It solves financial ones. Research into happiness and income consistently shows that while money strongly improves life when basic needs and financial security aren't met, additional wealth brings diminishing improvements unless it's used intentionally. That's fascinating, because many people spend decades chasing a number they never properly define. Here's the surprising truth. The wealthiest people often optimize for something completely different: time, control, purpose, relationships, health. Those become the scarce resources, not money. Someone worth $10 million still has 24 hours every day. Money cannot manufacture more time, only better choices. This is where financial independence becomes deeply personal. Some people retire, others build charities, others mentor entrepreneurs, others simply spend more afternoons with grandchildren. Freedom looks different for everyone, the hidden pattern nobody talks about. Let's zoom out. Notice what changed at every level, not just the money, the questions. At $5,000, you're asking how to survive. At $50,000, you're asking how to save. At $250,000, you're asking how to invest. At $1 million, you're asking how to protect wealth. At $5 million, you're asking what actually matters. The money changed, but more importantly, your thinking changed. That's why becoming wealthy is as much psychological as mathematical. 3 actions you can start today. So, how do you actually move toward the next level? First, calculate your net worth today. Not next week, not next month, today. List every asset, subtract every liability. Know your number. Second, increase the gap between what you earn and what you spend. That's where wealth is born. Every dollar left over becomes a future employee working for you. Third, automate investing. Remove emotion. The less frequently you interfere, the more consistently compound interest can do its job. Remember, successful investing isn't about predicting tomorrow. It's about participating for decades. Look, I know it's easy to watch videos about millionaires and billionaires and think you're miles behind. But that's the wrong comparison. The only comparison that matters is whether your net worth is moving in the right direction. Every person worth millions once had a net worth close to zero. Every portfolio started with a first contribution. Every fortune began with a single financial decision repeated consistently over many years. That's the part social media rarely shows you. Not the flashy cars, not the luxury vacations, the quiet years, the boring years, the disciplined years. Because wealth isn't built during exciting moments. It's built during ordinary Tuesdays when nobody's watching. So wherever you are today, don't obsess over someone else's finish line. Focus on reaching your next milestone. Because every level unlocks a different version of financial freedom. And eventually, you'll realize the biggest return wasn't the money. It was becoming the kind of person capable of building it. If you found value in today's video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who's focused on building real wealth instead of just looking wealthy. And before you go, I'd love to know in the comments, which net worth level are you currently working toward? And what's the biggest obstacle standing between you and the next one? I'll see you in the next video.